I welcome you all with my love and respect and blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa. Listen. The science of Kaya Kalpa this royal, sacred, secret science of Kaya Kalpa is the best methodology to have superconscious breakthrough. It does not require hard work, it just requires sincere work. Understand? It does not require hard work. It just requires sincere work. Step by step, I will reveal the signs. Yesterday, whatever I was talking, I was sharing, I will continue yesterday's morning satsang. I was sharing. The initial introduction, secrets of Kayakalpa science. Now, I'll start sharing more details. So listen to this one word. Expanding your ability to cognize Arunagiri Yogeshwara will always insist that I experience this space, vast space. He will ask me to lie down. Whenever he takes me to Kailasa, see, inside the Arunachala hill, the Kailasa is there, where Paramashiva himself resides, sits under the banyan tree, Kalpavriksha, and teaches these signs to all the great rishis and administers this universe. There are many secret caves from temple, main Arunachaleshwara temple, to go to the Kailasa. Whenever he takes me to Kailasa, he will always insist that I just lie down on the ground and gaze the universe and merge with it. Listen. Whenever it is possible, sleep under the open sky and gaze at the sky as much as you can and fall asleep. This will help your brain's ability to grasp larger visualizations, larger visions, larger ideas, larger truths. I tell you, ability to cognize larger visualizations, deeper verbalizations is maturity of the mind. Maturity of the mind is mandatory for maturity of consciousness. See, this whole science was given to me by Arunagiri Yogeshwara, my Guru, Paramashiva himself. He gave me this science. And my gurus in the physical plane, Kuppammal, Mata Vibhudanandapuri Devi, Raghupati Yogi, Yogi Yoganandapuri, Isakki Swamigal, the great Brahma Rishi, Isakki Siddhar, all of them. Of course, I have a list. Whoever was part of that ecosystem contributed to my life. I cannot forget anyone's name. I cannot miss anyone's name. Sometimes this anti-Hindu gang, enemies of Hinduism and traitors of Hinduism, both gangs, accuse me, why is he telling so many people as his gurus? Guru can be only one person. No. Be very clear. If you are going to master one field of Hinduism and achieve enlightenment, one guru is enough for you. But a person like me who is supposed to not only master, achieve enlightenment for myself, who is supposed to help the whole world, I need to be trained in multiple disciplines, multiple departments, multiple fields and branches and dimensions and aspects of Hinduism. So for each field I had a guru. I had a master. I had a teacher. I had a guide who made me master that field by their sincere work. Not just hard work, sincere work. So I will list all of them. I'm going to make a beautiful memorial for all of them in Tiruvannamalai Ashram. I'm so happy. Ma Guru Charana has taken up Tiruvannamalai Ashram. I just want to tell you guys, she is doing a wonderful job. I'm giving all my blessings to Ma Guru Charana. I wanted to tell this and put this on record. I want my Guru's Samadhis to be built in a big way. But I did not have anyone who will listen to me. The day Guru Charana went there, Ma Guru Charana, I know she will do it for me. It took only 24 hours. She started already building my Guru's Samadhi. Mata Vibhudanandapuri, Kuppammal Samadhi, she started building. I said, oh God, she brought best joy to my life when she started doing the foundation work of my Guru Samadhi. It's already started. I want to tell all my disciples, if you want my grace, if you want to make me feel grateful to you, if you celebrate my Gurus, the same gratitude I have for my Gurus, I will have it for you. She started building my Guru's Samadhis. I always wanted all my Guru's Samadhis, whatever is in our hand, till whatever we got. We lost many. Narayana Swami Tata Samadhi we lost. We lost Panduranganar, my Saiva Siddhanta Acharya. We lost his samadhi. We don't have. My own grandfather's samadhi. We don't have. We lost it. We lost many of my guru's samadhis. But we have few samadhis still in our hands. We have not lost. Yogi Yogananda Puri, Raghupati Yogi's samadhi is still with us. And Kuppammal, Mata Vibhudananda Puri samadhi is still with us. And Isaki Swami's samadhi is still with us. The extreme sincere work they have done. When Guru Charana sent me the photograph, they started laying the foundation stone for my Guru's samadhi, Mata Vibhudananda Puri samadhi. I literally had tears in my eyes. Oh God, how long I have been trying that I wanted to make a large samadhi for both of them. All the three, of course, for Raghupati Yogi and Isaki Swami, for all of them, I wanted to make a large, beautiful samadhi temple. I did not have anyone who will listen to me. Do it sincerely. Because this needs to be done with a lot of sincerity. Micromanaging, with a nice design, spending a lot of love. I want each pillar of their samadhi to narrate an incident in their life. It should be like a museum for their tyaga, their sacrifice. I had tears in my eyes. I just wanted to tell you one incident. The sincere work of my Guru, Kuppammal, Mata Vibhudananda Puri. See, she will do all the different aushadas, medicines, to detox me, to remove the parasites and microbes from my body. She used to insist a clean body without negative parasites and microbes is literally living enlightenment, manifesting powers. She will say, any power you are not able to manifest, it's only parasites in your stomach is the reason. So she will make different aushadas to detox my body, cleanse the body, the biomemory, muscle memory, purify it. I used to ask her, you say I am an incarnation, why these parasites are in my body? She used to tell, no, you are eating normal food. Even if it's organic food, you are eating normal food. So, body needs detox. The purity which is needed for power manifestation is very high standard purity. For that purity, you need to be detoxed. So, she will get different herbs, boil them, filter it, and then make me drink, cleanse my stomach, cleanse my body. Once she gave me an aushada like this, and I started feeling like rushing to restroom. And in the Gurukul where she trained me, I can't call it as a house because only she and Isaki Swami were living. It's like 2-3 houses together. In one house, Isaki Swami was living, and in another one house, she was living. But it's all adjacent. I can't even say two different houses. It's like a different portions of same house. Nobody else was living. Only I used to be living there with them. She had a western toilet. But she just locked the toilet and told me that a key is missing. So I have to use the open garden backyard. In the backyard, there is open garden. I am a very orthodox person. From the childhood, the way my grandfather brought me up, very orthodox. I need 5 bucket water even to go for one. Number 2 means literally I will have full bath. I will never use washroom in school. The moment I come back from school, we have to drop all the clothes, including inner, and run to the bathroom, take bath, only then we can come into the house and touch anyone. High orthodox bringing up. So I will not use the open place for cleaning my bowels or cleaning myself, even when I lived as a beggar. My personal cleanliness is too important for me. If you are a devotee or a disciple, hosted me in your house, you can remember very clearly. First thing I will ask, I won't bother about food, kitchen. I'll only ask about my washroom, and 5 buckets you have to keep filled with water. I will not believe the tap water. No question of this toilet paper. No. It has to be 5 bucket water with a mug to clean myself. Very orthodox hygiene life. You can even call me as washing mania. I don't have a problem. Whether my clothes or myself, very extreme hygienic, orthodox kind of a lifestyle. So I was screaming at her, no, I will not go to open garden. You break this toilet and allow me to use this toilet. Break this door, break this lock and allow me to use. She was acting as if she's trying to get a hammer to break that lock and all that, but for me, I could not control. So finally, I screamed at her and ran to the backyard, and I could not control myself, so I emptied my bowels. Anyhow, when I came back, she opened the toilet for me to wash myself. I washed myself and came and sat in the hall. Then I saw she and Isaki Swami, both of them walked to the backyard garden with a stick and observed whether the worms from my stomach has come out. Understand? They were not just my gurus. They were my doctors, my grandfather and grandmother. Extreme sincerity. Not only they gave me aushadas for cleansing my stomach, not only they made sure I drank those aushadas and I detoxed myself, they made sure those worms and parasites and microbes have left my body. God. In the modern day, even mothers are very reluctant to take care of the kids to this level. Here, I have not given anything to them, and they both know they are not going to be in the body to enjoy this great Kailasa I am building. They both know. They were Mahasiddhas. They know when they are going to leave the body. How sincerely they took their responsibility. It's not a small joke. You go and check the shit of your disciple to make sure that the worms and microbes and parasites have left his body, his stomach is clean. Surely it is not joke. The extreme sincerity. Sometimes she will walk 4 hours, 5 hours into Tiruvannamalai forest and procure all the medicines needed. Tie it in her sari, in the hip. Come back and sit with Isaki Swami and do the processing. Then she will call Narayana Swami Tata. And he will also come. His name itself used to be called as Totakara Tata, because he will be all the time in some gardens, temple, forests, collecting the herbs. Extreme sincerity I have seen in my gurus. I can give you thousands and thousands of incidents. Only when I am working with my disciples and they don't listen to me, I remember how much I tortured my gurus by my disobedience. She will work almost 4-5 hours and make that aushadha that is supposed to be drunk, taken when it is hot. And I'll take few sips and start throwing tantrum. Oh, it is too hot. You are forcing me to drink this. But on good thing, very good thing, I can't run away from them. Simply she will slap. She'll just slap me, and Isaki Swami will hold my mouth, and Narayana Swami Tata will pour that into my mouth. And no, that was really, I had one fortune. Neither I can run away, escape from them, nor my parents will. There is no question of running away from them. There is no question of escaping from them. Even that idea is wrong. Idea does not exist. She is my grandmother also, not just my guru, my grandmother also, in a way relative. And ultimately, palar, just she will slap and I will have to open my mouth and they will pour the whole thing. Now I feel blessed. I had gurus who had complete power over me, authority over me. அண்ணாமலையானே, பிறவாமை வேண்டும், ஒருவேளை பிறந்தால் உன்னை மறவாமை வேண்டும், இதுபோல் என் மீது முழு உரிமையும் கொண்டு என்னை முழுமையாக்குகின்ற ஞான குருமார்கள் அடிவாழ வேண்டும். The kind of the right they had over me. The modern day, now I will never utter a word about Arunachala's ecosystem. Mahadeva is very possessive of Arunachala. I won't utter. Maybe in other places, I don't know how many disciples have this kind of a commitment to the Guru. Not only disciple, the whole family of the disciple, the whole ecosystem. See, it's not that only I was committed. My parents were absolutely committed to my gurus. The whole ecosystem was committed. Fortunately, in those days, the stupid POSCO law and all was not there. The original India, before this anti-Hindu terrorist could destroy the Gurukul lifestyle using all kinds of defamation, law, everything. All right, I won't get into that side as on now. Let me talk only about the positive side. One thing I can tell you. Hinduism did not die when the temples were destroyed. Hinduism did not die when all our wealth was robbed, stolen, taken to England. But Hinduism is getting destroyed when the Gurukul system is getting destroyed. Let me put this on record. If I had my own freedom, the stupid choices or freedom idea, I would have ran away from my gurus 10,000 times. 10,000 times I would have ran away. But Arunachala ecosystem is responsible for my flowering. If I am sitting now alive after being poisoned so many times by the anti-Hindu international terrorist mafia gangs, it is just because sincere work of my gurus forcibly pouring the aushadas, medicines, cleansing my body, keeping it highly powerful, pure, intense, self-purifying. Extreme sincere work. Actually, life does not need hard work. You should not be afraid of hard work, but life demands only sincere work. The other day, I was doing the e-Vijayatra, the digital Vijayatra to Los Angeles, Kailasa in Los Angeles temple. One thing I found, the Los Angeles Kailasa needed sincere work, not hard work, because I can see the great, beautiful paintings I did, which need to be displayed properly in the hall, is lying in the godown. And all the broken deities need to be repaired, which need to be kept in the godown, is lying in the display, in the hall, main hall. They don't need hard work, they just need sincere work. What need to be displayed, put it in the hall for display. What need to be kept inside, keep it in the godown, that's all. You need sincere work, not hard work. You should not be afraid of hard work, but you need sincere work. I tell you, in every level, the sincerity my gurus have shown, I should say, this Kailasa manifesting is the sincere work of my gurus from Arunagiri Yogeshwara, Paramashiva himself, the whole Guru Parampara, and their extreme sincerity. See, my Agama Saiva Siddhanta Acharya, Panduranganar, his family, his son is still alive, and all of them are very well connected to us, and he is also my grandfather, my pre-monastic relative, and my Acharya, both. In Tirunnamalai, we are a tight-knit family. Every person will be related to each other in 5-6 ways. Kuppamal is not just related to me in one way, some 6-7 ways. From mother's side, father's side, from grandmother's side, from grandfather's side, like this. My father and mother are related to each other at least 3 or 4 ways. My father's mother and mother's father are brother sisters. It's like just within that few 100 families, everyone will be related in multiple ways to each other. That kind of a tight-knit community, tight-knit family. He will buy books to teach me. In those days, all books will be sold in 2 rates. Sada bindu, Kaliko bindu. That is the way the title will be there. Sada bindu, 2 ரூபாய் 3 அணா. Kaliko bindu, 4 ரூபாய் 6 அணா. That's the way the rate will be put on that book. Kaliko bind is the thick bind. Sada bind is the ordinary binding. For him, he will always buy ordinary binding. But for me, he will always buy the Kaliko bind. Very costly book which will last forever. I will ask him, why? You buy the same thing which you are buying for you. He will say, hey, I am going to use it only for me. But the book you are using is going to be kept in museum forever, for ages, for all your disciples to learn. All these words used to look too big for me at that time. I was just ordinary boy, 10-year, 12-year-old boy. Hey, what used to tell, what I am reading just for me to teach you. But what you are reading is going to be kept in museum for all your disciples to read forever. So I have to get thick, bound, good quality for you. all the money he earned, he spent it on me. Books for me. Extremely sincere. Actually, Tondai Mandala Adinam is the body consists of 140 mutts. In 140 different Shaivite villages, there will be a mutt which runs that temple. It is not just religious structure, it is political structure also, because through that mutt only the whole village used to be administered. In those days, the state and the temple and government was one and the same. Through the temple only the whole village used to be administered. All the taxes will be collected and kept only in the temple. The head of the temple will be the head of the state. The religious head and political head will be same. That used to be the structure. So he used to be the head of that mutt. It's called Appar Swami Madam, which used to be inside Arunachaleshwara temple. During the Vijayanagara Empire, they built the mutt outside and made that mutt into a 1,000-pillared hall. So I'm talking thousands of years of history. And my Acharya, Panduranganar, used to be the head. Literally, he is the decision maker. Maybe he is the last generation who are still having that kind of a command and charisma, administering everything. He used to be literally like a judge for all the local issues, problems. And I remember very well, he and my father's mother, Anusuyammal, they both will sit actually like a judge and solve the legal cases in Thiruvannamalai. They both will sit in the temple and they had their own coterie where people will come and tell their problems. Even property issues, divorce, marriage issues, the extramarital affairs, all these kind of issues. They used to hear both side arguments and negotiate and give a judgment, which used to be usually accepted by all the sides. I tell you, the extreme sincere work I have seen in my Guru's life. I'll revive that in Kailasa. That is the only way I can give my gratitude to Arunachala. I'll revive it even in Thiruvannamalai. It's not dead in Thiruvannamalai. It cannot die in Thiruvannamalai because Arunachaleshwara is keeping it alive. And it has to be revived and rekindled and rejuvenated. That's all. This Kayakalpa science It just needs sincere work, not hard work. Either you do sincere work or you have a guru and surrender to him completely to do the sincere work for you. Fortunately, I had amazing gurus who did extreme sincere work on me. Understand? Today, if I am sitting like this and talking hours together, all these great sacred secrets and reviving this Kailasa, the whole credit goes to my gurus. See, in Indian villages, when the kids, if they throw tantrum, they will make the kids sit on the dining table. In all middle class households, the dining table will be the tallest furniture. They will make that baby sit on the dining table and that fellow can't do anything. It is too tall for him to jump down. So he will keep quiet and sit politely on the dining table, looking this side and that side. Can't do anything. Same way, if you just give me a little bit of juice or fruits, whatever I am taking, and put me on this seat, like the child sitting on the dining table, I'll sit, go on revealing all the sacred secret science of Vedagamic scriptures for hours together. Neither I'll get tired, nor I'll get bored. I won't get frustrated. I won't bother about, I spent 10 years on somebody, trained, and that fellow did not flower. Before he could completely flower, he ran away. I will not bother about all this. Whether somebody stays with me or runs away, just because somebody ran away after I spent 20 years on them and trained them, evolved them, and they disappeared, they ran away, that will not stop me putting my life, time, treasure, talent, everything on the other person and start training. Nothing will stop me. I'll continue to do this work. Not till the end of my life, till the end of this universe, because even after I leave the body, I am going to be available to Kailasa. I am going to be available to the whole world through Kailasa and through this body, through this, where this body will be kept in Jiva Samadhi, through this body, through this Kailasa, I am going to be available to the whole world. So I will continue to do this job. Body which does not get tired, body which does not even know something called sickness, mind which does not get bored, mind which does not even know something called frustration, consciousness which is intensely excited, joyful, radiating, fully alive, with the highest possible visualization. which has a capacity to infuse energy into any being. All this is the result of the sincere work of my gurus. I can very comfortably, from my memory, repeat at least 10,000 Tamil verses from Vinayaka Ragaval, Devaram, Tiruvasagam. May not be all the Devarams and all Tiruvasagams, but many of the Padigams. Tiruppugal, Arunagiri Andadi, the songs from great Siddha, Siddhar Badalgal, Bogar Elayiram, Agatyar Muvayiram, Karukkidai Nigandu. I can list from all these various books at least 10,000 verses. From my memory, by heart, I can repeat. The credit goes to sincere work of my gurus. See, Panduranganar, my guru, he used to live in a place called Kirnathur. From that place to the main temple, Arunachaலேஸ்வரா temple, is 3 kilometers by walk. Every day, morning and evening, 2 times he will be there, sharp on time in the temple to conduct his classes. Almost I am the only one person who will come every day. There are few people, others are also attending his classes, but they will come, some days they won't come, all that. If I don't come for even one day, he will directly come to the house because he is my relative. He is my grandfather also. He will directly walk into the house and tell, hey, what happened? He will call me. He will take me to the temple and start teaching. Extreme sincerity. Temple had a loudspeaker system also, in which he will chant all the Devaram, Tiruvasagam every day. It's called Siva Siva Oli Mandapam. In those days on Vallala Maharaja tower, that loudspeaker system used to be there. I don't know whether it is there now. It's called Siva Siva Oli Mandapam, where he will come every day, sit and chant those Devaram, Tiruvasagam, everything. Sometimes by the time he ends his chanting, that loudspeaker chanting, I should be there for his class. After that loudspeaker chanting, he will start taking classes for me. So if he does not see me standing by the end of the loudspeaker chanting, in the loudspeaker itself he will announce, hey, where are you? Come. So in the house, my grandmother, hey, Tata loudspeaker solrar par, po. They will wake me up and say, go to the class. The loudspeaker, your grandfather is announcing. Sincere work. I can very comfortably chant at least 10,000 verses in Sanskrit. Any decent student studied in Vedanta Gurukula, Prasthanatraya means Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra, and Chandi 700 slokas. All the major Vedantic scriptures, Vivek Chudamani, at least 10,000 verses, I can say comfortably. This all is the sincere work, at least 10,000 verses in Tamil, 10,000 verses in Sanskrit. Sincere work of my gurus for hours together sitting and making me chant, recite. Even if they taught me the science of downloading, after I download, they will make me read the verse from the book and cross verify. My downloading and these verses are matching. I feel when I start talking about my gurus and their sincerity, I'll go on and on and on for hours and days. Anyhow, let me put this on record. I am so happy my Guru's Samadhis are getting built beautifully. I have built it in a small way, but I wanted it to be done in a big way, like a full-fledged temple. As of now, we built it like a small mandapam. See, to build an ashram for me, I know they went from shop to shop, house to house, literally begged and built a first ashram for me. But I don't need to beg. They have showered me with wealth. They have given me so many powers, so much of knowledge. They made sure I learned the science of making organization. Now there's so much wealth all of you have given me. So I should build at least a decent level memorial for all of them, because their tyaga, their sincere work need to be remembered. The whole world should remember. I'm so happy Guru Charana will do it. I know Guru Charana will do it. I should say around 100 people. All their hard work, sincere work is the result. I am the result of all their sincere work. At least 100 people. I'll add all their photographs, all their relics, Pushpa Samadhi, everything I'll immortalize beautifully in Tiruvannamalai Ashram with all their photographs, whatever is available. Now, the items they used in their life, everything I'll collect and nicely organize and build their samadhis. This is the only small way I can give my gratitude to them. The whole ecosystem of Arunachala should be remembered, celebrated. I celebrate my mother because she was ferocious with me. Don't think she is powerless woman. She may be very silent. But when it comes to training me, my gurus are the absolute authorities. Neither she will interfere, nor she will disrespect them. She will not even listen to my complaints to her about my gurus. The moment I start telling, oh, Raghupati Yogi is making me do 1008 Surya Namaskar, she will start doing her cooking. Till then, she will be talking to me nicely. She will be joking with me, laughing. And I used to be that cuddly boy. All the time cuddling her and having my hands on her shoulder or holding her pallu. That kind of a mom's boy. She will be talking very nicely with me, laughing, joking, responding, teasing. But the moment I try to complain about my gurus, she will just turn her head and start cooking. I know. Now I have to just keep quiet. Even one day she will not allow me to miss my classes with my gurus. She will never bother to send me to school. And she knows I cheat, I don't go to school. And she will never ask me. From school, so many times teachers will come and tell, he's not coming to school. She will never ask me about it and she will manage them. My progress report from the school, it will always come with a 0, 0 because I never attend the examinations. How will they put any mark? I never go to any exams. So when I take my progress report to my father, he will say, he will tell you yourself sign. What is there for me to sign? I used to tell, no, I don't know how to put signature. So she will put his hand on all the mark and he will not look at any of these mark columns, anything. He will just sign. He will look only at the column where he has to sign and he will sign and tell, hey, take it and go. That's all. But she will never miss even one day my class with my gurus. She had an amazing understanding about what I am going to become. She is the witness for all the training I went through with my gurus, the sincere work of my gurus. And I know by the time I was 10, 12, I started realizing that she and my gurus are in hand. They have a tight network and understanding about each other more than me. So I stopped complaining. What is there? Even if I tell, she is not going to listen. The extreme sincerity of my gurus. The way they never gave up, never compromised, never reduced the intensity of their training. From today, I wanted to train all of you for this Kayakalpa Pachapatni Vratam. Few minutes, all of you sit. Maybe you can keep your Atma Linga and even that dice, that manifesting powers of consciousness over probabilities We can do both. I can train you for Kayakalpa and initiate you into the powers manifesting on probabilities. So keep the Atmalinga and dice in your hand. Intensely chant Om from your navel. Your Manipuraga should vibrate. Start the chanting. Om. Yes. Blessings to all of you. We will prepare ourselves for Kayakalpa and enrich as many people as possible for Pachapatni Vratam. People from countries where we don't have ashrams, you can do the Pachapatni Vratam on your own in your house itself. Even in US, even though we have temples and ashrams, in US temples and ashrams will not be open for Pachapatni Vratam. US and Canada, people have to do it on their own in your homes. And also consult your doctors whether it is okay for you, your health, to do the Pachapatni Vratam. In India, all ashrams other than Adi Kailash open for Pachapatni Vratam. So, with this, I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhatvaita Saivam, the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness, and Kailasa of Paramashiva. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. The eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
श्रीकैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्तश्यामलापीठारूढ श्रीमीनाक्षिसुन्दरेश्वरा भिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्ररत्न कुमार गुरुमण्यतुल्यावतार श्रीपार्वतीस्तन्यपानलब्धदिव्यज्ञान विश्रुतसकलनिगमागमसारभूतद्राविडवेदप्रवक्त्रे श्रीमत्परमशिवकरुणासमधिगतमुक्तामयचतुरश्रयान् गीयमानछत्रचामर श्रीचिह्नकाहलादिसमस्तबिरदावल्यलङ्कृत ज्ञानविज्ञानचक्रवर्ती सर्वजनसङ्घसद्यो निर्वाणदीक्षाव्ययापवर्गवर्ष विश्राण जीमूत परमतकलभकेसरी शैवसिद्धान्तस्थापनाचार्य श्रीराजाधिराजपाण्ड्यमहाराजगुरु क्षपणशाक्यादिमहान्धकारनिवारणज्ञानभानु वीक्षणानर्हार्हध्वजोच्छेदनपूर्वक श्रीमद्वृषभध्वजस्थापक शैवसमयकर्त्रे सर्वज्ञपीठारूढ श्रीजगद्गुरु श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्धदेशिकस्वामि वागीशसुन्दरमाणिक्यवाचकस्वामिनाम् अवतारभूत श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्धस्वामि पुनरुद्धृत श्यामलापीठ सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रिनवत्युत्तरद्विशततमगुरुमहासन्निधान अरुणगिरियोगीश्वर परम्परागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञपीठ गुरुमहासन्निधान कैलासपरम्परागत काञ्ची कैलास सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तरद्विशततम गुरुमहासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्यमङ्गल नित्यकल्याण नित्यरजित कैलासपरम्परागत आदिकैलास नित्यानन्दपीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठकर्तः साक्षात् श्रीपरमशिव समुद्भूत कैलासपरम्परागत वैवस्वतमनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चन्द्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचन्द्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ति परम्परागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मण्डित चतुष्षष्टि सम्प्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्मशासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञपीठ सुराङ्गी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूडामणे साक्षात् श्रीपरमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणिपीठ अष्टोत्तरसहस्र श्रीमहामण्डलेश्वर साक्षात् श्रीपरमशिव सिंहासनाभिषिक्त समस्तगणनायक श्रीमहागणपति समारम्भ अनवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरुपरम्परा प्राप्त अटलपीठ अष्टोत्तरसहस्र श्री अटलपीठाधीश्वर धर्ममुक्तिस्वर्गपुरस्वर्णपीठ त्रयोविंश गुरुमहासन्निधान कैलासपरम्परागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञपीठ जगद्गुरो श्रीकैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्रीकैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमत्परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यवर्य सच्चिदानन्द प्रणवस्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्रीलश्री भगवच्छ्री नित्यानन्द परमशिव श्री ज्ञानसम्बन्ध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिन् अत्रागत्य परिपाल्य च अस्मान् विज्ञानवितरणेन विजयी भव जय जय।